I'll call you Martial, as you love Martial so bloody much.
Oh, I'll take either, mate.
Hello, people. It's your Usmaan back again with another show. As you can see by the title, you've been bloody waiting. It's the season review, and we have got the full squad. Man, it's Benji. Benji's going to be in the comments saying, what about me at some point? But, apart from that, we've got everyone here. All the links will be in the description. I'm not going to introduce everyone individually because it'll be all night. But I just want to say, first and foremost, a massive thank you to all the love and support. We finally reached 500 subscribers. Obviously, we need to try and go again, try and get to 1,000. But apart from that, there's a lot to talk about. And if you don't like the Glazers, by the way, check out the last podcast because the boys went absolutely mental on that one. So if you don't like the Glazers, up to you. I'm not saying anything else. Just, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. But anyways, let's get into it. This video is all about the players, the manager, and the season itself as an assessment. Wherever you think, was a valid sort of season in terms of what the expectations were come to start the season, that's what we're going to assess it on. We're not going to assess it on what's happened at the end of the season, obviously the 3 semi-finals. You can mention that if you want. That marks your rating down, but obviously let us know. As always, put your comments in regarding your ratings. We're going to go through the entire squad. Literally everyone. We're going to say who needs to get sold as well. So there's going to be a lot of discussions, so get yourself involved. Anyways, let's get started. Right, we're going to start right at the top of the panel. I was going to call you Martial.
Anthony will do.
All right, Anthony. Yeah, what you saying, mate? So let's talk about the season as a whole. So let's talk about assessing the season. Obviously, I'll get through everybody and their opinions. Firstly, what was your expectations going into the season, and have you met that expectation? Obviously, and give your rating as well regarding how that's panned out, so to speak.
Well, basically, yeah, we set out to get the Champions League spot. I wanted to get 4th. We obviously got 3rd. Can't complain. I think Ollie did a good job there. So, yeah, I mean, with the players he had at the start of the season, regarding obviously the injuries, Pogba was injured from the start, so we didn't really have him. Bruno came in midway. I mean, with the players like McTominay and Fred, it was obviously really, really good start as well. But then we lost. We actually, against the bigger teams, we did really well, but against the smaller teams that we expected to beat, we were really poor. So overall, do you want to give a rating of the season?
We can come back to the rating. Obviously, let's see what everyone's got to say. Matt, swear you're rating in it because people might make points to think, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So obviously you mentioned
overall the season was good in at the end, the result. But there's still holes and gaps that we need to fill as well. So I think that's
all right. Okay, that's fine. Was, we'll come to you. Obviously there's 2 Wasses, but we've already pre-planned this. So Was, what your thoughts? You said that we had to get top 4 first and foremost. Are there other things that you've taken into consideration regarding when you're assessing the season?
Yeah, regarding the league, I'm happy with the league. We finished 3rd. Our objective was finished in the top 4. So Ollie's done well there. We've obviously got to 3 semi-finals, I think. Obviously, it's a bit disappointing not getting to a final and winning a cup. I think winning a cup would have been very good for Ollie himself to build his own confidence. And I think it would have been very good for the team to just bring that unity and just winning mentality to the squad.
Yeah,
but in the Premier League, our objective was to finish top 4. So I'm happy with that. And then next season, we're in the Champions League. Although I'm not sure we're going to talk about it much, but with this current squad, we are going to find it difficult.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't want to talk about facing Bayern Munich with this current squad. I don't think that's healthy for any of us. But yeah, no, I completely agree in terms of we met the main objective. Shiv, you did mention the cup competitions. Were you slightly disappointed with the fact that we got to 3 semi-finals? Everyone has got different opinions on each individual game, but it seemed like we couldn't just get off the land. Maybe it's down to mentality. Do you think that's something that we need to take into consideration when we're looking at the season as a whole?
Well, yeah. To be fair, that we have one of the youngest squads. Well, the youngest squad in the Premier League. So, at the start of the season, my expectation was, that's it. Yeah, it'd be nice to win a trophy and stuff, but for me, we've overachieved this season. 3 semi-finals, 2 of them, we made mistakes which cost us 2 semi-finals. Against Man City, Old Trafford, we weren't good enough. We're struggling then. But yeah, I think we need to be more focused. Certain that Williams, De Gea. Those small mistakes have cost us. So yeah, it wasn't the best semi-final.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose in terms of you know, the league, I don't think anyone here is going to sit here and say that, oh, we haven't done well in the league. I think, you know, end of the day, the only thing we could have done was get third. You know, we're never going to get into that top two. But Ali, you know, I think the only thing that can potentially knock down everyone's rating here is the cup competitions. How important was it for you, you know, as a United fan? I believe, you know, well, Arsenal fans tell us every day that we've not won a title for like, or won a trophy, should I say, for like three seasons or so. How important was it to you as a fan, or do you think it didn't really matter this season?
I think the key objective this season was to get Champions League football. So, like I said, I would have sacrificed winning the FA Cup, which literally only the benefit of playing on sort of Thursday night. So for me, I think the crucial thing for us was to get Champions League. I mean, at the start of the season, you looked at everyone's squads and you said, okay, we're not going to compete with Chelsea, with City and Liverpool. So we should be going for third in general. But like I said, I think Champions League qualification was the most important thing, and only got it.
Yeah, no, like everyone's basically said regarding the league, we got the Champions League spot. I'm just curious to know, Jack, what do you think we need to do to go above that? Like, because obviously next season the expectations are going to be completely different. But what do you think we need to do as a club to actually try and achieve that?
Well, obviously, the sort of main thing you look towards is a sort of backing in terms of our second 11, which, as you all spoke about yesterday, it doesn't seem to be happening, which is slightly worrying considering our performances looking at the second 11. And anything that comes within a European football, of course, will be in 4 cup competitions as well as the Premier League. You're going to need squad depth, which we do not have.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to. What can we do as fans? Not much. It's down to the ownership and the board to make decisions, but they don't seem to want to. So all he's going to have to do is work with what he's got, whether that be 1 or 2 signings, which I don't think will even make any at this rate. But what can we do?
Yeah, well, obviously we'll talk about transfers obviously at some point during the show. There's a lot of people commenting on Shiv's comment here. Actually, people saying that we've overachieved, which is interesting to be fair. Obviously, Jam, do you think we've overachieved? Shiv said that obviously we overachieved. Do you agree with him? Do you think? I know you're a massive fan of Oli. Do you think Oli deserves a bit more respect, you know, for what he has done this season? A lot of people said that the only thing that they wanted was us to get top 4, as most of the guys here are saying. But still, it seems like a lot of people still want him sacked.
Yeah, my thing is like Shiv said, I think my expectation for the whole season in the league wasn't. I wasn't sure we'll finish in the top 4. So the top 4 was not part of my goals for the season. I wanted us to win a trophy. So when we were third, to me, like he said, it's an overachievement to me in a certain sense. But I think Oli does not get the credit because people think that he took over a team that was second a season before, and that a team that had a lot of players better than Chelsea had a ban, and the Lampard was green to the Premiership. But I think Oli deserves a lot of credit. But the Oli out people they don't see it that way.
Yeah, well, don't mention Lampard's name in front of Joe because he's going to go on a bad one after this.
Yeah,
it doesn't like Lampard. In case you didn't watch it yesterday, he's not a fan.
Absolute wanker.
Anyways, so Abdul, what are your thoughts on Ali? Because obviously we will talk about Ali in detail, but like I've said, you know, some people are thinking, you know, obviously as Shiv said, that it's an overachievement. Some people saying it's what I've expected. Some people still not putting credit on his name. Like for me personally, you know, when we did the predictions, I actually had us in 4th. But as soon as Pogba got injured at the start of the season, I thought, we might as well scrap this season now because with Lingard, Pereira, and some of the other, I know Bruno obviously came in and saved us, but even prior to Bruno, I was surprised we were in a position to get saved. We were still in 6th position. We still had the opportunity to catch up to the teams, although it didn't look like it was likely. Do you think Oli deserves more credit, and do you think people are kind of pointing the sort of semi-final thing against him and overlooking the achievement? I don't use the word achievement, but overlooking the season as a successful one in a sense.
In terms of cup competitions, with the squad that we originally had, I would say it's an overachievement. In terms of the Premier League, I would say okay. And the why I base that on is that when I looked at the team at the beginning of the season and the amount of people that left the team and the amount of incoming, I had this team nowhere near the top 5, let alone top 4.
Yeah.
Nowhere near. So to me, I was like, if Ollie got 6, he would have done a miracle there again. So you really have to assess the whole team. It's just not about, oh, how many did we get in? How many did we get out? It's not a number thing. It's about what you have and what you can utilize throughout the whole season. And by the way, losing 3 semifinals, no one has ever done it except Ollie, because no one in their first season,
love that.
no one in their first season reached all 3 semifinals in all competitions. That's why he's the first one. I mean, apart from Pep and Jose Mourinho with Inter and Barcelona, but they won everything.
They won it, yeah.
They had the whole team ready. So to me, he's done okay overall. If you put the Premier League and the Cups as well, he's done okay. Of course, it improved a lot after Bruno had come in. But if Bruno did not come in and we continued with the team that we did, and Ollie somehow scraped 5th or 4th, that's a miracle there. That's like an 100% overachievement.
We were never getting top 4 without Bruno. I'm just throwing that.
I'm just saying.
I don't think so.
But that addition of Bruno just took it a little bit from an overachievement to an okay. That's good.
Yeah, I think that, to be fair, I think that's a fair comment. I think if it was without Bruno, then yeah, overachieving came with the squad. But with
and
Bruno,
especially that Pogba and Rashford were out at the same time when we played the semi-final of the Carabao. So we really had a bad team, guys.
Yeah, we got lucky with the break, man. It kind of saved us in a sense. Okay, Joe. You've heard what other guys have said. Most have said. Everyone's laughing already because they're waiting for you. Most have said pretty similar things. Obviously, regarding what Abdel said in terms of come to start. Well, when Pogba got injured, it would have been an overachievement. However, with the addition of Bruno, it kind of levels it out a bit. Where do you stand in terms of the season as a whole? Would you put it down as a successful one? Would you say it's okay season? Would you say overachieving like Shiv, or what were your thoughts?
Lads, let's all be honest. No one has gained more from this COVID outbreak than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like, we went into it with no Pogba, no Rashford. Igalo was going to be our main man, possibly. And then after 2.5 months and a lot of deaths, we come with a full-strength squad and we start playing football. Like, the season is broken into 3 for me. It's pre-Bruno, post-Bruno, and then when everyone was knackered. And unfortunately, it leaves me with a bit of a bitter taste in my mouth because when everyone was knackered was the last thing.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I would be very optimistic now if it looked like our board was going to capitalize. Say the word for me. Capitalize. Thank you. Thanks, bro. We were going to that word on getting Champions League football for the first time in a couple of years, and we're going to really go to the next heights with that and bringing in players that should be up to the standard of the club. But since we're not doing that, I know we're talking about this season, but with the way the season ended and all like that, it doesn't leave me with much optimism because I did expect us to get top 4. I like the whole first part of the season, I didn't even believe Pogba was injured, if I'm being honest. And I don't know if that's how everyone sort of felt as well, if we can remember all the way back to Christmas when he came. Yeah, when he came, but when he came back for 15 minutes, I think against Wolves, and then was gone again for months. So at that time, I was like, this club is in shambles. Pogba's going to go, and we should have had Fernandes in the summer. But on the plus side, we have Fernandes now. Pogba looks like he's going to stay, which is 2 very creative people in midfield, which we didn't have for a long time. So that is a positive, but we need to get players around them. And if we don't, this could be the highlight for a long time.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point in terms of, I think the whole point of the question is, I think a lot of people are just assessing the season on what happened when, as you referred to, when we're knackered. I think people are forgetting the good bit that we did prior to get in this position, or I suppose recoup that 14-point lead that Leicester had on us. You know, a lot of people didn't have us in the top 4, including myself at that point. But we've done a fantastic, job to turn it around. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through every single person. I just want a rating for the season out of 10. Obviously, you can take everything into consideration: the trophies, the style of football, whatever you want to, put into that. Sorry, the lack of trophies. Sorry. Well, I was going to clip that. So the lack of trophies, we meant to say. Thank you for correcting me. So basically, what you want to think regarding the rating. So, Bas, we come to you first. Martial, we come to you first. What's your rating at 10 for the season?
Oh, I'm going to say 8, I think, only because we got into 3rd.
Wow, okay.
That's high, was.
So you're giving in 8. So
I mean, if you hadn't gone to 3rd, it would have been like 6. Sorry?
Yeah, but what would you constitute to get into 10 then?
Win the league, innit? Obviously.
Wow.
No. I think
you've almost gone for perfect here, by the way. I'm just putting into context what you've said there. So
what did you say? 7 or 8? I can't remember what I said now.
You said 8.
You said 8.
Yeah, no. It's like a 7.5 to be honest, but
no, we're not doing 0.5, mate. It's not.
I rounded up to 7. I rounded up to 7, but obviously because we got 3rd, he's overachieved, man. Not overachieved, but he's done the impossible. Obviously, that's Leicester's downfall as well. To drop all those points, that's stupid from them. But yeah, you got to give him a good rating for that. So yeah, 7. I don't know.
There's a lot of shaking in the heads here. Just before we go on, Shiva, these two guys you missed because they've been slagging you off for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, just get rid of them. Block them.
I like them.
they've been slagging you off for 20 minutes. I'm just assuming that your mates just keep.
They're next door.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just
Usmaan, bring them on. I like the colour of their shit.
Let them go.
Oh my God. Right, okay. Noah, we're going to come to you, Joe, actually. I know it's completely opposite of where you are, but you were shaking your head vigorously when I said 7 and 8. So,
it's more so, no, it's more so because what got me was when you said he did the impossible. That doesn't make sense to me because he put us in that. If you're giving him credit for that, then you have to take away the credit for he was the manager that got us 14 points behind as well. And you can play injuries, you can do whatever you want, but the facts are he was in charge for the whole season. So I think 4th place is par. So par for me is a 6 out of 10. So coming 3rd and getting semi-finals, I'll say 7.
Okay. So fair. It's obviously you've gone for the same rating.
No. Please go to Ali next. Please. I just seen his face and I cannot wait. This is like Christmas Day.
Go on, Ali. Have you say? Go on, son.
I'm giving the season 5 out of 10, and the reason why I'm giving 5 out of 10, he's had a full season. Post Christmas, the guy was on the verge of being sacked. We had no style. He had no tactics. We were literally struggling game on game on game. The only reason why Waz and Joe are probably giving him a 7 is the fact that Oli didn't save his job. Bruno saved his job. That's the main point. But from August to December, no one even thought we'd even touch 4th, let alone even stay in the top 10. So I don't know how we're giving him a 7. Okay, so I'd probably give
Ali, by the way, we're judging Man United, not Arsenal. So I'll just let you know that.
No. So as a club for us, the fact we're giving our manager even a 7 is, I just understand it. Like I said, from August to Christmas, the guy was literally a 1. He had nothing to show for it. Even Bruno has saved his job. Bruno himself single-handedly has made everyone else around him far better. I think Ollie's job is to make players 10-15% better. Bruno did that job. Bruno got us into the top 4. He made all the players around him 10-15% better. He did it. Even when we were doing so well, people were still talking gaps about Ollie. Where's his tactics? Where's his formation? What style of play do we actually have? Where's his substitutions? I'm giving him a 5. I'm literally giving him a 5.
Which that's fair enough. Obviously, you made valid points. We were actually doing the Ollie assessment at the end, but you know, if you want to.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. You can,
Yeah. Spoiler alert, Ali. Jesus Christ.
No, it's all good now. Obviously, you know, he's a big part of the season. So by all means, Jeff, I'm going to come to you, mate. Unmute your mic, mate, because obviously I know you're a massive fan of Ollie, so I'm interested to see what you got to say. Is Jem still here? Oh, he's here. There we go. Right, so we've got 2 7s for different reasons. One said impossible. The other one said par. Ali's obviously, you know, basically Bruno FC. Jem, what are you going for?
I will go for a 6.
Okay.
A 6.
Why have you gone for a 6?
Because initially, from the beginning of like I said, when I assessed our team from the beginning of the season, I didn't think we'll get to top 4 because we had almost 6 players going out, whilst we had only 3 coming in. I mean, we were short. We have brought in these young boys, Chong, Gomez, and Greenwood, into the team, and we had Harry Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and Dan James. And Dan James wasn't supposed to be a first-team player, so I thought we would not make top 4. Then when Pogba got injured, then that one I gave up. But I thought
Man gave up.
Then Marshall got injured at the point. Marshall was out for 8 weeks. Then we were struggling to score goals. But what Ali said that it's Pogba, it's Bruno who has made it. So who signed Bruno, and who plays Bruno where he's supposed to play? We should give the coach credit. Should give him credit because you see, we've seen Fred and Dayose isn't the Fred that we are seeing now. And when we were short of midfielders, Fred put in a shape, and Fred was our best player till Corona. Then after Corona, he was off. Is it down to Fred or it was Oli who helped him? Marshall, you look at Marshall this season, when he came back from his injury, Marshall's style of play has totally changed. His other play, the way he links up, it has totally changed. All due to a manager. Don't leave it out to only Bruno. So I'll just give 6 out of 10 because initially we were struggling. Then we got because I know that Oli wanted Bruno to come in. But you see, there was a report somewhere that Bruno misplaces the passes a lot. And you see, we are now seeing it. But people are complaining now. Our own fans are on Twitter talking. Hey, Bruno, he cannot pass like Kevin De Bruyne. Man, that's how Bruno is. He comes, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it will be rubbish to everybody. So 6 out of 10.
All right, okay, Jack, we'll come to you. Obviously, you know, again, I'm assuming you're going to be more on Ali's side, but you know, we've got varied points. Obviously, Jem's kind of alluded to the fact that Ali did deserve a bit more credit. Obviously, Ali gave him absolutely none, which is fine. Where did you stand on that, Jack?
I sort of lied between what Ali and Jem were saying. I'd give him a 6. Obviously, I think it's like sort of ludicrous to sort of state that he's overachieved because the target was top 4. We got top 4, and then beyond that, we obviously, I know 3 semi-finals are great. It might sound like progression, but what are we now? Spurs claiming that it's a trophy for getting to 3 semi-finals. I don't like this mantra of, oh yeah, we've got 3 semi-finals. Yeah, but we lost. Ultimately, you can go out in the round of 32 or the semi-final. You don't win the thing.
Yeah.
So that's a load of shite. I don't believe that when people go out, you know, I don't have that. So to overachieve, no. Did he underachieve? No. He met his targets. So I'd give it a 6. And you'd hope that maybe you can push on. But we'll see come the start of next season.
Yeah, no, coming to you, Wes, obviously, like, to be fair, just to add, Jack, I do agree with you. Like, I've seen a lot of United fans saying, oh, we're going to 3 semi-finals. Although it is fantastic that we've progressed further in the competitions, it doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day. You know, you're not going to get trophy for it. We're not Tottenham Hotspur, you know, putting in your fake ass trophy cabinet with the Audi Cup. You know, we're not about that life. So, Wes, we've got a few variants. We've got 2 6s, 2 7s, and a 5, mate. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Jack really. I think a 6 is fair for the season. I think beginning of the season, he did have a lot of injuries to deal with. We didn't sign Bruno in the summer. We should have got him in the summer. We had no Bruno. We had to start with Lingard and Pereira. We had Pogba out, who's our best player for majority of the season. I think COVID came at the right time. So Rashford and Pogba recovered, and I think even the
I don't think anyone said that statement. COVID came at the right time. That's the one line. I don't think anyone does come out anyone's mouth. I just had to interject with that. Sorry, go on. Sorry,
you know what I mean. I didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
I even think Ollie was like a beneficiary of games being played behind closed doors. I think away grounds against the smaller teams are much tougher when the fans are there. And playing like Villa away and so on, when the fans are not there, I think it's much easier. But yeah, I think a 6 is fair. Obviously, we'd like to go to a final stuff, but yeah, I'll just keep on a 6 so everyone can have a good speak. So
Look, lads, but like, what?
Sorry, I got tapped by a wasp. I had to get rid of it. Go on, Joe. What are you saying, man?
No, but like, I think the mindset, like, look, the mindset I'm in now is that I didn't expect us to be challenging for anything this season. Like, so my 7 out of 10 is for the fact that we progressed in the competitions and we did better in the league than I expected, and we finally got Fernandes and we're playing better football. Like, none of us here are I did not celebrate that we got to the semi-final. But I'm saying it's progression. I'm not proud of that. That's how far we got. I'm just saying it's better than what we usually got. But like, we can't look at ourselves and say we're challenging for anything. Like, and that's just it. So like, we have to judge the season by the squad we're going into it, and that's why I think a slightly higher score is better, because I was not confident we kept fourth and we got third and we got further in the competitions. That's why my bar is lower, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And the problem is the United fan base in general is still stuck on the Sir Alex Ferguson days. We still think we're that United.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the problem. We still think that. We still think that we should be at the top right there. We should be challenging for everything. We don't have that team anymore. Where? Like, look at our team, for God's sake. Pereira, Lingard, James, old Mata, and
don't make us cry.
I'm sorry. Your expectations are not even in the right place.
Yeah.
You have to give it what we have.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, it pisses me off a lot when I see that on Twitter, because I'm like, you're dreaming. You're still in dreamland of 2013 when we won the league. We're not that team anymore. We're not even that club anymore, let alone in the structure. You know, so when you say, "Oh, I'm not proud of the progression we've made to the semi-final, or that we made third place," I'm sorry. Where are you coming from? Were you top? Were you first place last season? Were you second place the season even before? You're coming from sixth, and you got rid of a lot of first-team players, and you only got three back. How are you expecting to be like third or fourth or fifth? That jump easy. It does not work that way. And I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not a tier 1 manager. He's an okay manager. Okay. He's not a Pep Guardiola. He's not a Jose Mourinho. He's not all these big names. So you have an okay manager and an average team, but you're acting and sounding like a club who is in the Champions League final every year.
Yeah.
How are you expecting that? Ole may or may not progress with us and improve next season or the season before, the season after. That's still up for debate. But you have to assess it on what you have. You can't assess it on what you don't have or what you think you should have. You know? So that's the problem with the United fan base at the moment. Now, if Ole had the Real Madrid team or Bayern team, and then we're happy with the semi-final, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
Or we're happy with sixth place, then there's a problem.
But then
but Ole doesn't even. Yeah, but we don't even have anywhere near a Bayern team, or anywhere near a City team, or anywhere near the team that Klopp developed. We're still nowhere near that. And let's take Klopp, for example. The first two years, he was getting beat by Southampton in the cup, fourth round. Yeah. He was getting beat by Wolves in the second round of the Carabao Cup. So for Ole to do that in his first full season with a half-baked team, that's actually amazing. That's progression.
Yeah.
That's progression. I'm not saying we should throw a parade for it,
No.
but that's progression. That's a good sign. You know, no one's saying that we should celebrate this as a trophy, but you have to look at what you have.
Yeah.
Seriously, and be realistic with yourself. Now, being realistic isn't saying that United should be top place when they shouldn't be, when they don't even have the team. That's not being realistic. That's being idealistic. That's being dreaming of stuff that you don't even have. So it really boggles my mind when people go that way. It really, really does. We have to forget about 2013. We have to forget about Alex Ferguson. None of them are there.
But
Oh
you
shit,
see,
that's Ollie! Oh no!
Mate,
you see, I want to give this up. You see,
It's Ollie.
Delivery, man.
Right, Jem,
talk about-
one second before, before you, one second. Abdul, you've not given your rating. What is your actual rating?
My rate. I'm not gonna go sky high. My rating is 7. It's okay. It's an okay season given everything that we had, and the progression we've made coming from the poisonous situation that we were in last season. It's an okay season. Yeah, very good.
Jam's loving this. Right, just before you, Jem, you have your say, I want to pass it back to Ali because obviously Ali had the corresponding review on that. But I just want to say that the most important factor that you said for me, or the key thing that you said, is realistic expectations. I think, you know, what did we expect from the season? Like, I'm going to pass it to you, Ali. I'm curious to know, what did you actually, not now as we stand, but when we actually came into the season, what did you expect from the season? And why have you given a 5 because of that? Because obviously, as Abdul said, you know, basically he doesn't understand your sort of logic behind that.
Yeah, I think realistically, first off, I don't think if you're still stuck in the 2013 mindset that we should be challenging for any sort of championship, I think you're beyond wrong. So Abdul, I think you're spot on that. I think in terms of the fans' expectation and where we think we should be is one thing. Comparing that to the squad that we actually have is another thing. But then the deeper lying issue is we want to be challenging for titles. The players want to be challenging for titles. The manager wants.
Yeah, of course.
But when the owners don't want to have the same mindset that we have as fans, that's the concerning factor. So it's not the fact that we're thinking that we should be first. Because if any Man United fans thinks that we should be first based on our squad compared to other teams ahead of us, they're literally just in dreamland.
But how have you given him a 5 then? I'm just curious to. So you just said that, and you've given him a 5. I'm just curious to know. Obviously.
I said overall, I've given the season a 5 based on the fact that the players did what they could do, but I don't think it's down to Ollie. I don't think it's down to him. I think there's players around. Like I said, I think Bruno saved it. Bruno saved the season for him, saved his job. Let's be honest with you. After the Burnley Villa results, he was out the door. They've gone, backed him, invested in him. Okay, let's play Bruno in that position where he has to play. Bruno's gone and saved the season for us. That is as simple as that. And we can complain saying he only had Lingard and Pereira to put on. He could have easily put on Chong. The amount of times we've almost said
Chong, come on, save it. Chong's not going to come in.
I'm saying like why not give other players a go? Why not give other players a go that can actually, rather than stick with Pereira and Lingard every single week, try and change it. Be a little bit proactive. Don't just stick with the same squad every single time. So, like I said, I personally don't rate the manager. We still have questions over his tactics and his formation strategy, etc. I think the players have kicked on after COVID and saved the season for him. As simple as that.
He didn't play the young ones because he didn't want what's happening to the regular starters to happen to them right now.
Thank you.
Saw how many people? How many people are on Bruno's case? How many people on Aaron Wan-Bissaka's case? How many people on Harry Maguire's case?
But how can you be on Bruno's case?
Do you see the comments on these guys' Twitters?
James.
Wild shit. Like it's disgusting shit. Imagine if that was Chung or Gomez or Greenwood.
Yeah, there's no way Chung would have got destroyed. I'm not having Chung, but I see what you're saying, Ali. But I just think, coming back to what Abdul said, obviously, I want to hear what Shiv says actually, and then we're just gonna rate Ollie now because we've spoken about him that much. We might as well, and then we'll absolutely go through all the deadwood and all the players. It's just the thing for me personally, right? And I'd say this to any Man United fan. There's no way, right? If someone didn't say to you at the start of this season, without signing a midfielder, so no Cam, bear in mind Bruno didn't exist come start of the season, yeah? What was your expectations? If someone said to me, you can have top 4, Okay, granted, you're not going to win a trophy. You'll get top 4. You'll get third. Okay, granted, you're not even going to be close to second and first, but you'll get third. You get Champions League football. We sign you Bruno in January, etc., etc. You're not going to have Pogba for 90% of the season. I would have literally ripped your arm off of that. Like, there's no... If someone said to me, we didn't have Pogba, and we had to play with Lingard and Pereira for 26 games of the season or whatever it is, and Ollie got us top 4, I would have been like, no, what, fair play to him, yo. He might not be the most technically gifted manager, but no, what? He's done his job. Like, what else more can you do? Like, he's not going to get second. He's not going to get first. The only bonus he could have got is winning a trophy, which would have got him maybe a 9 or a 10. So that's why I went for a 7 as well. Right, Shiv, I just want to bring you in here because you've not actually had a say on the season itself. So I'm just curious to see what you say. And then what? You can give your rating, then we'll just do a rating for Ali because, like I said, we've already mentioned him enough. Shiv, what are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I give it a 6.5.
No,
No.
7. I'll go for 7.
Yes.
Why have you gone for a 7, Shiv, then?
We wanted Bruno in the summer, but we never got that. Now, if I were to say, if Pogba was fully fit, start of the season, the whole season he played, we had Bruno in the summer, we would have finished on 80 points. I'm telling you now, we would have finished on 80 points. Martial was injured 2 weeks. Rashford's been injured most of the season. You look at Man City. If you put Lingard or Pereira instead of De Bruyne, do you think Man City will be as good? No, you laugh. You laugh.
Jam agrees with you. That's why he's laughing.
At one point, our midfield, we had 3 midfielders to choose from: Fred, Matic, and McTominay.
Well, they're the pivot of Fred and Pereira, by the way. Can I just throw that in there?
By the way, they're the most played players.
Exactly, they're the only options he had. Yeah. Fred and Pereira at DMs.
In midfield, they still have played more than Bruno since Bruno came.
Exactly. Yeah. And the only reason we got Bruno in Jan is because Pogba was injured and McTominay was injured. We never had any midfielders. That's the only reason we brought him. And yeah, you can say, he should have been sacked before December, because I ain't lying. He should have been sacked. It was the worst start in 26 years, wasn't it? We were poor, losing at home, losing to Burnley, Palace at home. It wasn't good enough. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes saved his job. I ain't gonna lie about that. I still have my doubts. Tactically, is he good enough? I don't think he is. I'm hoping to be proved wrong, but I don't think he's good enough tactically. 2 semi-finals. Yeah. Chelsea and FA Cup. Why go 5 at the back for me? Like, you need to stick to one formation. I don't see a style of play and stuff. You know what I mean? So for me, at 7, I'll give him a 7. Next season, I want to see a style of play. Same formation every week. I don't want to see we're going to play a big team, we've got 5 at the back. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's a fair point. Obviously, you've gone for a 7 as well, which is obviously what most of us have gone for. We let you guys, put in the comments what you're going to go for. We're going to give a rating for Ollie now because obviously, like I said, most of us mentioned it. Jem's laughing his fucking tits off, but it's all good. Martial will come to you, flipping. That's not going to get normal. Whilst I know you love Ollie, try not to be biased, please, with this rating. What are you giving Ollie out of 10?
I'm going to give him a 6.
Oh wow, that's surprising.
Because that's almost like an average score. Yeah, I did say he proved, he did a miracle, but there's that debate. I am Ollie in, obviously, but the lack of tactics and stuff is evident as well in some games, and he needs to grow a pair as well, because substitutions, with that, it just really pees me off. Too late, hard. Sometimes he doesn't even use them, and some of the players he just runs into the ground. Those are like things where he's got inexperience in those departments, where he has to grow up, but he has to grow quickly. Now, if you're in the Champions League, then you're gonna have to. If you're playing the big teams, you're gonna have to step up, because you saw in the Europa and it just wasn't good enough, and that comes down to the manager at the end of the day. I am Ollie in, and I'm gonna give him some time, but I think 6 for me. Yeah, it's about right for his experience and what he's done. He's done amazing this season. So yeah, 6.
Right, interesting verdict there. He's done amazing, according to him. Joe, what are your thoughts?
This one has been kind of toying with me for a little while, because how do you break away from a team performance, from a manager's performance? But the thing is, the results we got and how we progressed, I think is great. But how we played, especially when someone said against a big team, is playing 5 at the back against Chelsea, especially with the Tory running that club. I have to say, Ali, you're going to love me for this. It's a 5 out of 10. Because, and it's essentially because if you look at everything on paper, top 6, we did brilliantly. You know, the smaller clubs, other managers fell against them as well. But the fact is that whenever you're watching them against playing the big team, we're not playing the football we're supposed to be playing, unless it's counter-attack, which we look kind of good for 20 minutes, then we just sit back for the rest of it. And then against the smaller teams, we just dropped too many points. And it wasn't for Fernandez, and I know he wanted Fernandez in the summer, so we blame Woodward for that. So, like, absolute credit, he wanted him, and who knows what could have happened then. But the facts are the facts. How we played without him and how we played at the end of the season takes it from a 6 to a 5. I have full faith in him to learn from everything that happened this season and learn, because the only way you learn is from your failures. And we have to look at losing semi-finals as a failure, even though it is progression.
Absolutely.
I think going forward, next season will tell us so much. First season, he gets away with a lot. Champions League football, no matter how we got it, as long as we got it, that was the main thing for us and for the owners. But now next season, we have to see the next level of progression, and that's playing our style of football and fuck everyone else.
Well, you have to back him, doesn't it?
Yeah, have to back. I'm absolutely like, but we have to, as long as he's got his own way of playing, and that's what we're going to go seeing a lot more of next season. I see Ali shrugging. I'm praying, but that's what we're going to see next season. Okay.
Right. Okay. So you've gone for a 5. Wes has gone for a 6. You know, again, contrasting views. I think you both obviously agree on the fact that he's got a lot to learn. I think that's probably the overriding sort of sense with a lot of us. I don't think anyone's going to deny that. Jack, I'll come to you, mate. What are your thoughts on Ali this season? You know, like we've already alluded to, he did, you know, achieve his target, which was top 4. But in terms of him on a personal level, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd stick with a 5, just purely because it's sort of halfway down the middle, and the fact that we've never sort of seemed to struggle against the top 6. It's always been tactically against the other 14 teams or so, because it's those teams that we sort of struggled against, and I sort of wonder if that's where we sort of lack a style of play, because tactically, I sort of still not sure about he knows how to deal with certain teams. It seems to be, obviously, against the tougher opponents, it seems to be more of a counter-attacking style, but against teams that come and sit at Old Trafford, you know, like the Burnleys and the Brightons, sometimes it seems to be the sort of play that we have, which seems to be effective against the top 6, seems to just sort of go out the window. And then, obviously, tactically, he's got to look to his bench, which I suppose you can't really put the blame on him for, because there is no one on the bench. So people love shouting at 70 minutes, 80 minutes subs, but then what do? You take off Bruno and bring on Scott, and then instead of the ball going forward, it's going sideways.
Yeah, and
it's just negative. So what does he do? It's all about, as Joe was saying, you'd hope that he'd be backed, and then if he does, maybe then next season tactically he can look to his bench and hope for something.
Yeah, obviously regarding the tactics, like I've got to be honest, I think that's the thing. For me personally, the thing that I criticize Ali the most is his in-game tactics. You know, sometimes you can set up a team and they might not be able to execute what you're trying to, you know, set them up to do. You saw it against Sevilla game, really. You know, in the first 15 minutes, okay, granted it wasn't sustained, but first 15 minutes is quite evident he's got them to press high. You know, I know obviously Abdul will be able to go into detail more regarding that, but you know, he has tried things. Sometimes it's not been executed perfectly. And I'm not saying the players are culpable, but it seems like he's just not been consistent with those tactics. You don't see it week in, week out. Like one game you'll see them try to press, the other game is do the complete opposite. So I don't know if that's him trying things out or if he's just trying to work out what the best solution is.
I think the Chelsea game, the semi-final, is like the perfect example of the fact that we were playing brilliant football, spirits were high, but instead of like sticking to what has worked, he decided to go back to, like, we were forced to play 5 at the back against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, I think, and it worked. So he was like, what I have to do is every time we played him, which showed a lack of
especially
maturity.
the semi-final, oh my God.
Yeah, because we went in great form. And like Chelsea prior to that had lost, I think, 3-2 to Crystal Palace and lost to Sheffield United 3-0. And you're like thinking, go in, play your natural football and just go for them.
It had to be a bit more positive, didn't it, really?
Yeah. Show balls. Someone said that before.
Martial said it. Well,
Yeah.
Martial said it, sorry.
Sorry, Martial said it. Show balls.
Right, Jem, we'll come to you. Obviously, we know your thoughts on Oli and how much you love him. Mate, what's your rating?
I gave the entire season 6. I'll give him 6 as well. But you see, somebody made a point. Like I think somebody said that about why did he decide to play the back 5 against Chelsea. If you look at the starting lineup, I'm not sure they could play what he wanted. We don't sometimes think about that. Because if he was to play the first team, I'm not sure he would play the back 5. Because he thought to change it. That's why he came with the back. And the back 5 had won for him. Sometimes we criticize and we say that Oli is not tactically good, but I've watched games against Pep Guardiola, who we think is a good tactician, against Jose Mourinho, who we think is a good tactician, against Jurgen Klopp, who were at Old Trafford for 65 minutes.
We should have won that game against Liverpool at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Jurgen fell asleep, didn't he?
You see, only made people notice the weakness of the Liverpool team. Break their fullbacks, and they cannot, and they were useless in that game. Jurgen Klopp changed it, and we had an injury that affected our play. Like the same thing happened to Atlanta when they were playing PSG. As soon as they had just one injury, it affected everything. But we don't do that. We always say Oli is tactically in depth, but it's sometimes funny. I'll just give him 6 out of 10 for the entire. He has done his best. That's what he could do. Like Adil said, he is not a top-notch coach, but he's getting there, and he will make mistakes. Even the greatest manager in our club makes mistakes. Against Barcelona,
Ali's reaction was priceless. I'm just watching Ali to be fair.
But
I'm just gonna slap someone.
I think we completely agree with what Jem's saying, that like we know he's going to make mistakes, and he has made mistakes, and we hope that he learns from
them. He learns from them, yeah, absolutely.
But we can only judge by this season and what we've seen. And like you're saying, against Mourinho and against Guardiola, like it doesn't take too much tactical nous to just put 10 men behind the ball after you're hitting them on the counter-attack. You know, and you score a couple of goals and then don't attack after that. And that's what Mourinho just doesn't attack anyway. Whenever he plays a big team, he'll go for a draw and that's it. We lived through that fucking misery for 2.5 years. We know how Mourinho fucking plays, right?
I'm done with talk about tactics.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of tactics, let's come to the main man for the tactics. Abdel, mate, come on, man.
But I want to drop a news. I think Ben Chilwell is back for 50 million.
What you say, Jeb? Sorry.
He's going to Chelsea for 50 million.
Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell.
Oh, Ben Chilwell.
Well, that's irrelevant to us. Right, Abdel, why are we talking about some Chelsea signings? We don't even make signings. Right, Abdel, what are your thoughts on Ali, man? Obviously, you've spoken about him. You don't need to obviously go into too much detail, but what are your thoughts on Ali and obviously, you know, his rating?
Yeah, of course. Like I can't go into too many details because it will take long. But of course, I don't agree with the comments that says he doesn't have a system, he doesn't have a style. I agree with that. Oli sometimes reacts slowly. I agree with that. Sometimes he could have reacted faster in some of the games. But to just say a manager who's been managing for 6, 7, 8, 10 years does not have a system or a style of play, I think it's very, I don't know what the word would be, but it's just not good. But in terms of system, what Oli wanted to do, and that's, by the way, how he plays throughout all his years, even at Man United reserve, was the 4-2-3-1, right? And he also uses the 3-4-1-2. And he's very flexible. Not a lot. He played the 4-4-2. He didn't play it a lot, but he sometimes uses it depending on the opposition. So one quality we have with Oli is adaptability. Oli is not a Pep Guardiola who sticks to one way and does not want to change it. And the one time he changed it, he got out of the Champions League. So he's very adaptable, and I like that about him very much. When he started out the season, he was starting with the 4-2-3-1 because in the attacking sense, it's very attacking. The two CDMs is not a defensive sign. It's just because he's very, very attacking. He does not want to risk it all by having a little bit of a defensive stability. But when that wasn't working out because of the lack of ability of Lingard and Pereira and sometimes Mata on the wing was showing against the very, very deep blocks, he changed the system to the 3-4-1-2, and I don't like to call it 5 at the back because it's only 5 when you're pushed hard by a superior team, but that's not parking the bus really. 3-5 Leipzig plays 3-4-1-2 or 2-1, depending how you want to see it. But Leipzig are not regarded as a defensive team. They're very, very attacking. You have to really look at how the team moves when they have the ball and how the team does not move when they don't have the ball. So just to go flat out and say a 3 at the back is very defensive and we're parking the bus, it's not actually true. If you go, I've watched the Liverpool game, the last game for Jose Mourinho, and I watched the game that we played against Liverpool at Anfield, where we lost and all hope was lost and Oli was shit and he should be sacked. Actually, Oli went out at Liverpool. For good parts of the match, we were pinning Liverpool in their own half at Anfield with Pereira and James. Pereira and James, this is your attacking outlet.
But
so
there was no end product.
Exactly. Even the game at Burnley, where we lost 2-0, and it was bad. And I admitted it wasn't bad in performance; it was bad in results and the situation we were in as a club. But there was so many chances that was missed there. It's just fucking sorry about that. It was very frustrating.
Yeah,
very frustrating.
But then it's a bad performance.
Abdul, I was with you until you mentioned Burnley. I'm not gonna lie, I almost stabbed myself in the eyes after watching.
But in terms of system, yeah, the results are bad. I'm not disagreeing with any of you. I was like saying this is the end for him, too. You know. But in terms of system and the style of play, it was clear every time what he wanted to do, and he would change it depending on the opposition he's facing. Because let's face it, we don't have the same caliber that City has or Liverpool has, so we have to be adaptable. Liverpool can get away with playing the same exact style every single time against any opposition because they're so strong, or the City, same thing, you know. But we can't. We have to be adaptable. So in terms of system, right, with the 4-2-1-3-1, right? So the idea is to have the fullbacks and the inside forwards, which would be Rashford and James, and the striker, right? The striker would drop deep, play the wingers and the inside forwards in, and the fullbacks would stretch the play. And you have one deep line playmaker, which would be Pogba in that case, right? To break that first initial bank of 4, right? So you think of it this way: if you take off Pogba, which is a very key in that formation, that position specifically is very, very key. Take him out and put someone like Lingard in, and you're expecting him to ping balls, to break lines.
Well, no, Abdul, like, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
like,
I was about to say, what's the rating for Oli, Abdul?
Yeah.
Go back to
no, my rating is like you guys. I said it before. I said it's average, right?
So
but
I'm
just responding to the comments that he has no style or system. I'm not saying Burnley was amazing or Liverpool was amazing or we're deluded. I'm saying he has a system in place. Now that these players not being able to carry out that system, okay, that's a different conversation altogether. But in terms of system, there is a system.
Right, okay. Right, listen, we're going to move on because it's been an hour. We haven't even spoken about one player yet, by the way. So
I'm just saying, because you were saying in terms of tactics, tell me like what Ollie does, right?
Oh yeah,
I'm
no,
just saying.
I just want to say that I agree with Ali.
Thank you. No,
No,
you
don't have
to give me 30 seconds.
Let's have a
you
vote.
don't have to.
Without Ali,
Yo,
without saying a fucking word, Ali, I agree with you.
You guys don't have to agree with me, but I analyze each game, and the guy has a system.
No.
Flat out, to just flat out say the guy doesn't have a system, and he doesn't have a style. I'm sorry to say, and please don't take it personally. I think it's ignorant.
Oh, no one's taking it personally.
Okay.
Uzi, give me
Usmaan, can I just add one thing?
one line.
Ali, let me just.
Playing
Right
two
now.
CDMs, playing against a low block team, playing Fred and Pogba that deep, is not offensive. But last line, he's a reactive manager. Full stop.
I said that sometimes Ollie does not react very quickly. I said that. Playing two CDMs is not the issue. If you watch Pogba in all the matches...
Abdul, we'll talk about this on another podcast because I know Wes needs to go. Last an hour. Wes, what are your thoughts?
All right. I just wanted to add, like most teams now, there's like an obsession in football with a refined style of play. Like with Liverpool, Man City, they've got a refined style of play. Every week, how they're going to play. Maybe with Ollie, we're doing a disservice to him because he didn't have the players to play his system. Once we got the 4-2-3-1, we consistently played it. Obviously, he shouldn't have changed it back to a 5 against Chelsea in the cup. But he probably made a naive mistake there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Ollie has a defined style of play. We'll find out this coming season if he continues with the 4-2-3-1. However, what is it? He's got no excuse now because he's got the players. Get what I mean?
Yeah, no,
I mean, if he gets players, we still don't know.
Yeah, well, obviously
That's
I agree. Wait, just quickly, Was and Ali, give me your ratings because I'm not. But Ali, obviously, yours will be low. Ali 5. Okay, Was, what are you doing?
6.
Okay, Shiv, I apologize again, mate. What are your thoughts? Tip, what's your rating?
7.
Oh, 7. Okay, fair enough. Right, so Ollie gets a 7. I think the average is probably that 6, which is what most of us said. I think most of us said 6.5. I know I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of forgotten my rating.
The single players.
Yeah, I know we haven't. Okay, I've got the squad up. Right, I'm only gonna go through players. I'm tempted to leave this for another video now, but I'll be only gonna go through players that have played. Okay, I'm not gonna do no league grant and none of that bullshit. Right, okay, David De Gea, Martial, we'll start with you, Mike. What are you giving him?
6.
What?
That's
wow. Okay, 6. All right, I'm just
average. Average, I suppose.
Right, just to come off the back of that, I'm giving him a 2. Just straight up fucking wank this season. All right, what's coming to you? What are you giving him?
Right, I'm giving him a 5. He has let us down in key games.
All right, fair enough. Jack, what are your thoughts on here?
Yeah, I'll give him a 4. Too many mistakes, especially when you compare to Hendo and how well he's played.
Oh, damn.
Not acceptable, really, but there you go.
Straight in there. Ali?
4.
Well, I think I've been harsh, clearly. Everyone's going for a bloody bit higher. Right, Shiv, I'm sticking to my 2. I don't give a shit. Shiv, what are you going for?
4.
Okay, 4. It seems like Jem. 5.
5.
Oh, bloody hell. Right, okay. Abdul, what are you giving him?
I'm giving him a 4 because the key moments that he failed us is really, really terrible.
Yeah,
very important games he's let us down.
I'd say, I'll go with a 5 because we have actually improved defensively since last season, but just the big games that he let us down and can't be forgiven.
We're talking about De Gea, no?
Yeah. Overall this season, I actually don't think he's been that bad, but like at key moments, he's fucked us. So that's why it's 5.
Well, he's made more mistakes than Pickford, so fucking God knows he's got 5.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's not true, is it?
It is.
Yeah, he's been the most in the league.
You guys have given him a 4 and a 5, and he's worse.
Yeah,
He's worse than Pickford.
He's made the most in the league. Mistakes.
They have the same mistakes, 7 each.
Yeah, that's not a compliment.
That's not good.
No, that's not. I'm saying that.
I wonder about overall in all competitions. He's got more worse than him. He's got
the most in all competitions.
Yeah, he's definitely got most in all. If you start Chelsea one alone. Anyways, forget that. Let's move on. Sergio Romero. I'll start. I'm going to give him a 7, actually. I don't think he's done anything wrong this season. I think there was one mistake. I can't remember which team it was. Was it Norwich? That he had that one mistake from Cantwell that he potentially saved. But that's literally one in the whole season, so you're not going to be too harsh. Martial, what are you going for?
6 as well.
Right, fair. Was, what are you going for?
Yeah, I'm going with a 6. Hasn't had much to do this season. Normally reliable, so yeah, just a fair 6.
Right, fair enough. Jack?
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. He's been solid as always.
Fair. Ali?
6.
Who are we rating again?
Romero, sorry.
Romero.
Oh, Romero. Okay.
All right, so we've got a lot of 6s. Obviously, I've gone 7. Shiv, what have you got for Romero?
6, solid and top game, so no mistakes, as reliable as ours.
Say no more. Jem, thoughts?
6.
6. Okay, Abdul, what are you going for, bro? For Romero?
It was a 7, but because of the mistake at Club Brugge, I would give him a 6.
Oh, did you make a mistake against them as well? I don't remember that.
Yeah, that led to a goal. The 1-1 draw away.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
There was another one, but I couldn't remember what it was. Joe,
Yeah.
what are you going for, Romero?
I'm going to give him what I hope to have this weekend. 6.
Okay. Right, okay, moving on to the defense. Again, I'm going to leave Lee Grant, Dean Henderson, and the rest of the squad. Let's start with the right backs. There's a few of these that haven't really played, so it's difficult to mention them. But no, I'm just going to do it anyways. Delo. Should we mention Delo, or do you think it's not worth a shot?
No, allow it.
Put him in the bag. Put him in the bag.
All right, we'll put him in the bag. Okay. Right, okay, so him and Phil Jones are obviously in that bag, bro.
Lucky dip at the end.
Yeah, lucky dip. Fosu Mensah's in that bag.
Yeah.
Obviously, okay. Yeah, so people that have not really played. Okay, so
Jones had a 100% loss record this season, by the way.
Well, he's
Start Bissaka.
We'll start with Wan-Bissaka, right? I'm gonna give Wan-Bissaka an 8. I personally think people are forgetting how good he's been this season. Yes, he's had a bit of a couple of shaky games here and there, but the fact that these games that he's not played well have been heightened so much is because he set the bar so high for me personally. 1-on-1, I think people are forgetting that performance against Sterling, man. Like, and he gets so many quality players this season, and he's pocketed all of them. Zaha as well. There's so many tricky players. There's too many to name. Every single winger in the league struggle against him, and I've always been very confident with him at the back. Yes, he needs to improve going forward, but even then, he has created a fair few chances. I'm gonna go 8. Martial, AK Was, what are you going for?
Yeah, 8 as well. Obviously, we forget it's his breakthrough season as well. It's his first season, man. Yeah. And he's had a really good start. Obviously, dipped at the end, maybe fatigue and stuff. But yeah, 8.
Fair play. Was, what are you going for?
Yeah, I'm giving it 8 as well. He's been solid pretty much all season. But I think teams are trying to figure him out. Yeah, if you go on the outside against Wan-Bissaka, normally going to tackle you. So I think teams are trying to come on the inside, a bit like how Mason Mount was doing in the cup game. But yeah, 8.
Fair. Jack, thoughts? Anything different?
Yeah, no, similar. I'd just make it 7. He just needs to improve going forward. But at the back, if you're going to give him a rating just at the back, I'd give him a 9. Going forward, I'd give him a 6. So average it out to a 7.
I think that's a fair point. Ali, what are your thoughts?
I'm giving him an 8. He's Ollie's best summer signing.
Oh, wow. Big claim.
Yeah.
Shiv, what are you going for?
Well, Bruno came in January, so that's all right. I can understand what you mean.
I'll give him a 7. The first half of the season, I would have given him an 8 if he could go down. Second half of the season, for me, just ain't been as good as he was. If you press him, he can't do nothing. Each time he gets the ball, he looks nervous. What am I going to do with the ball? And just for me, on the ball, he ain't as good as people think. So 7 for me.
Oh, fair enough. Chem, what are you going for?
I'll go for an 8. People always criticize Wan-Bissaka that he doesn't give an assist, or we should check what's his name, Kyle Walker. How many assists? How many goals did he score?
Well, he's not scored a goal, I don't think.
Yeah, but it depends on the system they're playing.
Yes.
Walker doesn't attack very much.
Yes. So, but people expect Wan-Bissaka to be doing what Arnold is doing.
Yeah, that's people's Well, whatever. I'll get on another rant. I'll get on another rant about tactics and styles. So
Yeah, we'll get
avoid
another
that.
video for the tactics and style. No worries. Rakis, you've gone for 8 as well. Okay, Abdul, what are you going for?
I'll give him an 8, even though the last game was really bad, but it won't take what he done throughout the whole season.
Yeah, I agree with that. Joe, thoughts?
Look, 8. His age is. Oh, sorry, no, 7. 8. I'll go with 8. With his age, and he's coming into one of the biggest teams in the world. It's a big step up from Crystal Palace, and he played youth football not even that long before that. I think he has to improve going forward, but defensively he's fantastic. A couple of mistakes. I think he's probably going to be the best right back we've had since Gary Neville, and there's a big gap since that. So we're lucky to have him. I agree with Ali with saying he's the best summer signing as well.
Fair point. Just for those of you that actually care, Inter Milan 1-0 up. Lukaku scored.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
Yeah,
Thanks
so just throwing out there. Right, okay, so I'm tempted to do the next bit in pairs just to speed up a bit because we'll be all night. So we'll do Lindelof and Maguire as a pair. Well, obviously give them individual ratings, but say both at the same time. Right, so for me, Lindelof, I'm going to give him a 7. He's had shaky games, but I think overall he's been fairly steady. Maguire, I think Maguire gets a lot of shit for no reason, to be honest. I don't think he's been as bad as people are making out. So I'm going to give him a 7 as well. I think he's had obviously some proper shocking games, but overall, for the whole season, all 38, I thought he's been all right. He's played every single minute as well, and we finished 3rd, so he couldn't have done too bad. Right, Martial, what are you saying?
Lindelof 7, Maguire 6.
Ooh, okay.
All right, fair enough. Straight in there. Was, with thoughts? He's like that. Was, hello?
Oh, he's blinking.
He's blinking.
Yeah, I think 7 for both is fair. I think Maguire just with like his agility and lateral movement is improving. So yeah.
Is it? I don't know if that's improving. Right, Jack, what are you going for, mate?
Lindelof 5 just always does look a bit shaky. Lindelof 5 and Maguire 7 because Maguire's looked solid, but he needs that partnership with him. And Lindelof 5, I'm not so sure about Lindelof really, but
wow,
Lindelof's doing a job.
Lindelof 5, bloody hell. Ali, what are you thinking? He's gone for a 5 and a 7.
They both got donkey moments. Both get 6s.
Straight in there, Shiv. What are you going for?
Say what you feel.
Together, I don't think they'll work. I don't think they'll win you a title. They're together. Maguire needs centre back with pace next to him. A few mistakes from Lindelof this season. Against Sevilla, just left his man. Yeah, I don't remember Saka was there, but he never even went to attack the ball to clear it. Just watched the ball. So for me, 6 for Lindelof, 7 for Maguire.
Jem, what are your thoughts?
7 for Harry Maguire and 6 for Lindelof.
I think everyone seems to be agreeing
I
already.
think they're done. It's 1-1 now. It's 1-1. It's 1-1. Sevilla just scored.
Hey!
I wonder if Joe's spotted. Right, Abdul, what are you going for the 2 centre backs?
I'll give them. There's no 0.5s, right? So I'll give them a 7 for. Yeah. I'll give them a 7 for Maguire and a 6 for Lindelof.
Okay, fair enough. Joe, and to finish off on the defenders, I'm not going to do buy-in, although the guys are barely played again, man. Just allow it.
Yeah, 7.9 for Maguire. A high 7 for Maguire and a low 6 for Lindelof.
Good, yeah. People really haven't rated Lindelof this season, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into talk about
amazing.
Shaw. I'm not going to ask any other questions about it. Right, okay, moving on to Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams. Again, do these both as a pair.
You guys speed this up.
I'm gonna say 7 and a 6. The 7 for Shaw, 6 for Williams. Martial, what are you going for?
7 for Shaw and 6 for Williams as well.
Okay, fair. Was, what are you going for?
Yeah, I agree. I think before his injury, Shaw was improving, especially going forward. I think 7's fair. And then, Williams is a bit naive at time. He will improve with the age. 6 is fair as well for Williams.
Jack, anything different?
Just 6 for both. Nothing special, I don't think, this season.
Fair enough. I don't think much people would probably disagree with. Obviously, Shaw gets a lot of shit, doesn't he? Ali, what are you thinking?
Yeah, both 6s. Agree with everyone. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Shiv?
6 for Shaw, 5 for Williams.
5 for Will. Okay, fair enough. Right, Jem, what? Jem, going for?
Oh, 7 for Luke Shaw, then 5 for Williams.
Bloody hell, 5 for Williams. Right, Abdul, what are you going for?
I'll give them both 6s because they didn't do what they're supposed to do.
Which is get assists. But I don't even know if Shaw.
No, not that. Not even that. It's what we talked about last time. Remember about stretching the pitch when we were against the low block? That's what they haven't done. They just haven't done.
To be a contentious bastard, Shaw 6, Williams 7, just for 2 reasons. One, you take that look off your fucking face, Ali. One, it's his first season, and he came in late. And 2, for that fucking great goal against Sheffield United.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What?
What?
Yeah, that's it.
7. Right, okay.
I didn't understand the last part. What?
He actually scored a goal.
He said that the goal
Oh,
Williams
yeah.
scored against
Well, I
Sheffield.
remember that. I was at the ground.
Yeah, against Sheffield United.
And who are you supporting, by the way? Who are you supporting?
Man United, man, piss off. Right, okay. moving on to the midfield 3. Oh, I've had so many fucking midfielders to choose
No
from.
wonder
Right,
he was upset when we picking that. Anyway, go on.
yeah, there's about
Do the first 11, isn't it? Obviously.
Well, that's hard because it changes. You got to give a rating for Fred, innit? Do you know what I mean? You can't just say first 11. Right. Okay. So we'll do the midfield 3 that Ollie finished with. Obviously, Matic, Pogba, Bruno, and then obviously do Fred and McTominay separate. All right. Fred, I'm gonna say 8. I think apart from lockdown, post lockdown. Sorry, I thought he's been fantastic. The last 2 games, I suppose, they were Europa League, but even them, I thought he's been brilliant. I think he's had poor games, but so has everybody else in the team. So I don't think I'm going to be too harsh on him. Bruno, no brainer, 9, probably 10, probably touching 10. I'm going to give him a 9. I don't think he's been perfect, but obviously we spoke about Bruno a lot. Pogba, I can only give him a 6 because he's barely played, so I'm not going to go any higher than that. Martial, what are you saying?
So Fred, yeah, Fred.
No, Bruno, Pogba, and Matic first.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Matic, I've got 7. Bruno, I've got 9, and Pogba, I've got 8.
Oh, sorry, I've done it wrong as well. Actually,
Yeah, you did it wrong.
Oh, sorry.
You absolutely
me.
Yeah, sorry, so that's my fault. Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry, Matic, I'm gonna give him a 7.
Terrible.
Okay, yeah, sorry, that's my fault. Anyways, otherwise.
Yes, Matic, I'm giving a 6. Bruno, I'm giving a 9, and Pogba a 6 because he hasn't played enough.
Okay, fair enough. Jack, what you rating? Sorry.
I'll give Matic a 7, Bruno a 9, Pogba a 7.
Okay, a bit higher than me. I feel like everyone's gonna say the same ones. Ali, what are you going for?
Pogba, Matic 6, Fred 9. Pogba, Matic 6, Bruno 9.
Man said Fred, you know, I'm going to his head. Right, Shiv, what are you going for?
Pogba 6, Matic 7, Bruno 9.
Okay, Jem, anything different?
Fred 7, Bruno 8, Matip and Pogba 6.
Okay, fair. Abdel, what are you going for?
8 for Bruno, 7 for Matic, Scott, and Fred. If we're doing all the midfield, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And Pogba 6 just because of lack of games.
Okay, Joe, what are you going for? You can do the whole midfield if you want. To say so.
Jem, who scored?
De Jong again.
Come on, Samir.
What, are they winning 2-1?
Yeah.
1-1.
Oh no, it's 1-1.
Well, that was ages ago. Right, okay, Joe, what we saying? I think it's got to get.
Yeah, okay. Bruno 9, obviously. Pogba 6. McTominay 7. Matic 5. Because only playing football after January shouldn't get you anything higher.
You might do Roy Keane while you're there as well, mate.
We got a comment from Benny. Jack
Lampard.
I
Jack,
love it.
no, do Lampard.
Oh my god.
Fuck the Tory. Can we just call him
Anyways.
that? Wait, hold on 1 second. Never refer to him by Lampard in front of me again. Just
Oh
we
my god.
Tory, okay?
Every single time.
The cunt is known as a Tory, and that's it, all right?
Right, okay, moving on from that. I don't know why that's coming back into conversation. Right, okay, McTominay, Pereira, Lingard, the next three, and then obviously we'll move on to the front three and we'll wrap it. Right, okay, so McTominay, I'm going to give him I'm going to say 7. I think no one's going to agree with that.
Why then?
But I'm just going to give it based on what I think he's capable of, so that's what I've gone 7. Pereira, fucking 1, Lingard 0. Anyways, moving on.
In the bag.
Martial, what are you going for?
McTominay 6, Pereira 2, Lingard 2 as well.
Fucking hell, he scored 0 goals and got a 2, man. Bloody hell. Right,
I love the celebration. That celebration is class.
Yeah,
Just for the
didn't
celebration.
fucking score. Shit, what are you doing?
McTominay try restart, was in good form after restart, not too great. So I'll give him a 6 to be fair. Pereira lacks that. He lacks pretty much everything on that end product.
Everything.
Pereira,
Apart from his British passport.
Lingard hardly played. Lingard 2.
But how is Lingard
How many
scoring 2?
played?
This is madness. Have you given so you got Pereira, McTominay, and Lingard? Have you given all 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Cool.
2
Jack.
is pretty bad. Like, you don't have to give them 0, right?
Yeah, come on, man. Bloody hell, Jack. What are you going for?
McTominay, solid 6, sort of average. He was better before lockdown. Andreas, I'd give him a 2 just because I purely want to. And I'd rather keep him than Lingard, and Lingard a fat 0 because he's useless.
Okay, fair enough. At least one.
Oh, I can't wait for Ali.
Wow.
I can't
Ali,
wait
come
for
on.
Ali.
Don't back.
In the negative.
Crazy rules.
McTominay 5.
-1.
5 for McTominay. What the? Ali, he scored against Man City as well.
No. He was decent before COVID, but he was shit after that. Okay.
Yeah, but he's played
And
2
then-
games after COVID.
He was shit. Okay, and then moving on, Lingard and Andreas probably even -3.
Okay. Fair
Oh
enough.
man.
They're just not footballers. They offer nothing. My mum probably
Yeah.
offers more.
Well, one could dance, to be fair. Shiv, what are you going for?
McTominay 6, Lingard and Pereira 0.
I like it.
Oh, I can't wait to hear Jams and Abdus. Jam, what are you going for? Jam, Sevilla game's very good, I know, but yeah, what are we going for?
Pereira, Lingard. I'll give them 1 -1.
Yeah.
There was no use to the team.
Nah, too much.
Who else?
Oh.
James. Yeah.
No, we didn't even mention James. McTominay.
McTominay. I'll give him 5.
Wow, that's the disrespect for McTominay is unreal. Abdel, what are you giving?
For Pereira, I'm a kind guy, so I'm gonna give him a 3.
Very kind.
Yeah. No, and Lingard.
He's not scored. Don't you tell me he's got more than a 3. I swear to God, Abdel.
Nothing over.
Yeah.
Come on, Abdel.
Nah,
Give him
I'm gonna
5.
give him more. I'm gonna give him 4, just for one reason.
What the hell?
And just for one reason.
Let me explain.
I mean, come on, it's 4 and 3 and 2. These are all bad ratings, right?
They're
They are.
bad players.
Yeah, they are bad ratings. So like, it's not I'm praising him or something. 4 is so bad, but
They are bad
I'm
ratings.
just giving him a 4 for one reason, because in the big games when we were playing counter-attacking football, he would always find the spaces for us. He was useful in those games.
So we gave some of you gave McTominay a 5.
But in the games where we played smaller teams, he was completely useless.
I would say he was completely useless against everyone. But
Yeah.
Did you give McTominay a rating, Abdel? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. I gave him a rating. I think I said 7.
Okay, all right, Joe. What have you gone for, mate?
McTominay, goals against Arsenal, goals against City. He gets a 7. Fuck you, Ellie.
It's gone from a green to everything Ali says to fuck you. Ali's come down to the
And Pereira,
The titles there.
Pereira for his 1 assist all season, he gets a 1. For Lingard for his 1 goal all season, he gets a 1.
Did Lingard score the league? Oh, Leicester, fucking.
Against
Yeah, the last kick of the last kick of the season, man.
Yeah, fair play to him. Anyways, all right, moving on from that, let's move on to the wingers. There's not many players left, really, is there? So I'm going to say we've got Mata, James. Who have I missed out? Mata, James, we'll say Greenwood, innit? I guess. Mata, James, Greenwood. In fact, no, I'll just chuck them all on, innit? We'll just speed it up. Right, Mata, James, Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. Okay, so front 3, basically, front 5. Right, okay, so Mata, I'm going to give him a 5. Just because I love the guy, I'm not going to give him anything less. Probably deserves less, but I'm being biased here. James, I'm going to give James a... That's a hard one. I'm going to give James a 5 as well. Mainly because, okay, granted, he's not been fantastic, but he's offered us a lot in the big games. No, we wouldn't have beaten Man City or got that draw. But we should have beaten Liverpool with that assist I got for Rashford. But he got that 6 assists. He's not a that bad of a season. It's just not off the caliber way now playing. It's not on him. So 5-5. Rashford for me, 8. Ooh. Yeah, high 8. Martial, I think that's a bit harsh actually. No, I'm gonna give Rashford. No, I'm gonna give all 3 of them a 9 actually. Fuck it. No, in fact, 9, Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood. I'll give him an 8 because he didn't play that many games. Right, Martial, coming to you. Might speed up in it. Why not?
Mata 5, James 6, Rashford 7, Greenwood 8, and Martial 9.
Rashford 7. Got 23
goals. Yeah, he did to the end, man. After lockdown, he was a bit poor, man. But he had a really good patch in the start before pre-lockdown. But
that's fair enough. Was, moving on to you.
I agree with all of Was's ratings, so you can move on.
Oh, I love you, Was. That's what we want to.
Jake.
By the way, it's Anthony.
Jake. Matt, I'd give 5 just because he's average, solid. James, I'd give 5, not good enough, but hopefully replaced. Greenwood, 8, just solid since ever coming in, and he sort of saved our season, taking over from Dan James.
Yeah.
Martial, 9, because there'll be no top 4 without him. Obviously, a shame the other day against Sevilla, but without him, we wouldn't be where we are. And Rashford, I'm in between a 7 and an 8, but I'll go for a 7 just purely because he didn't look great post-lockdown, and if he continues to not look great, then it's not good. But before, I'd give him a 9. But if his season continues the way he's left off, then that's not good.
But I think that's fair enough. I give benefit of that, but because of the injury. Anyways, Ali, what are you going for?
Mata 4, James 5, Mason on 9s, and Rashford, I jackpot on. I can't elaborate more.
Okay, fair. Shiv, what? Yeah, Abdul, 1 second. Shiv, who are you going for?
James 4, Rashford 8, Martial 9, Greenwood 8, Mata 5.
Okay, fair enough. Jam, who are you going for?
Mata 5, James 6, Martial 9, Rashford 8, Greenwood 8.
Okay, Abdul, thoughts?
Mata, James 6, Rashford 8, Martial 9, Greenwood. For his breakout season, I would also give him a 9.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And Joe, to finish off the show.
Here we go.
Okay, so 1 Mata. He gives money to charity. He gets a 11.
No, by the way,
Rashford gets 10 then, if that's the case.
When Ali said Mata 4, I was like, wow, I gave Lingard a 4. I have to decrease it now.
It's too late now.
Okay. Mata gets 5.
Okay.
Average, he did a lot for us in the Europa League.
Agreed.
Who is after that? Dan James, I'm going to give a 6. First season, he started off great. He won us, got us a draw at Southampton, got the assist against Liverpool. He went off then, but there is still something there that we can, like you said, big games, last few minutes comes on, he's got legs, and there's something we can get out of him there. So we're going to give him a 6. Greenwood can't do anything lower than a 9. Definitely not like for what he's done. Like he's done a lot for us, but like for the fact that he's 18.
It's his first season,
And Martial and Rashford for scoring against the Tory constantly. Both those fuckers get a 9. No one gets a 10, but they fucking earned it.
Oh, God, I've just realised I've missed one player out.
You went to the show on that.
I've missed one player out, but no one's mentioned it. Fucking Igalo. I didn't mention Igalo.
Igalo.
Oh, 10. I was saying my 10 for Igalo.
Yeah.
10.
10.
Oh,
What a message.
let him have the fucking 10. Anyway,
Call 0.
10 Igalo. Come on, Igalo.
That's been your show. Obviously, Jam's on you dipping. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Make sure you let us know your play ratings.
What's the Lingard?
Yeah,
What's the Lingard?
Jay Lingard. Drop, like, subscribe, show the boys.
I can't do it.
Be your boys, man. Peace. Just to finish the lads, obviously I'm ending the show. What do you think Sevilla Inter is winning this one? Hopefully it's fucking Sevilla. But,
Yeah, they have to win. Sevilla is really playing, you know. Sevilla is a very good team. Very good team. Very good team.
Ozzy, can I just say something? Can
it's
you imagine we all did a watch along to a proper match?
Oh,
Yeah, that would have been nice, you know.
Yo,